Hi guys, welcome to another Phantasmo art stream. Oh, baby boy finally went to sleep, so now I can draw. Give me a sec. Okay, so I want to take a hold with this drawing. I want to try a few more ideas before I continue with this, because I'm not sure if I want to push this character design further, you know? I'm just not in hurry to finish it. So I want to try a few more things before I actually start to build on that character. So give me a sec just to sort out some folders, concepts. This V1. Add it all here. V2. Okay. Okay. Let's make new file. So I want to doodle more before I actually figure out what's the path that I want to take with this character. Let's reduce the flow a little bit, and opacity, and let's go. Let's make brush bigger for now. Now this looks like total mess with lines, but it will make sense later on. As I build up on it. And I think I want to go with a simpler design, so let me show you. Let me show you some iterations of this Jarok the Hunter. First iteration was actually PSD. Yeah, this was the first Jarok the Hunter that I did, you know. So it was full of details. I mean, as an illustration, it's okay, but it has a bunch of details, you see. Tons of it. And look, even the crossbow, man. So, but it's too complicated. I want to make this character more and more simple. Really more simple than this. This is okay, but somehow I don't think I can build different stuff around this character. We'll see. And the second one, let me show you. The second one was one that I didn't finish, one that I was drawing yesterday. This guy, you know. So I just started building on to this guy, and maybe I'll come back to it, I'm not sure. But before I even make up my mind, I just want to go and doodle some more stuff. At this point, I'm not looking forward to make a good drawing. I'm just making forward to make some illusion of a character that I would actually like, you know? And who knows, maybe I'm gonna find something today or 5 days, doesn't matter. Hmm. Okay, since the stream is almost empty, I can actually afford to listen to some other stuff. The fuck? Give me 1 sec.
Independent social critic. We also know that the Israelite state employed hundreds of prophets. Hundreds. We have at least two different cases where ancient Israelite kings would have hundreds of prophets in their employ, and those hundreds of prophets would go into ecstatic states. They would often act out their prophecy. So, for instance, if you thought that the king would be gored by an enemy, it's not uncommon that the prophets would actually have gore, like horns made of iron, and they would dance around with the horns of iron in a very theatrical way, it seems, and that these theatrical shows where prophecy, ecstatic states, and theater really meshed together in ancient Israelite society. So we do know that the Israelite state, like the ancient Neo-Assyrian state, employed a huge number of prophets. It also seems like, by the way, FYI, that unlike other ancient Near Eastern peoples, the Israelites did not rely on astrology. The ancient Assyrians, ancient Babylonians had developed a very, very sophisticated form of astrology. The ancient Israelites rejected it for reasons that aren't clear. And they rejected it not because they knew better. It wasn't like the ancient Israelites and somehow knew that astrology was wrong. It's probably just that they were jealous and they didn't have as sophisticated math. But
So we are listening at the moment YouTube channel called Esoterica, and the theme is Kabbalah, introduction to Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism, Israelite prophecy and theophany.
The ancient Israelites do not like the idea of astrology. Rather, they like a direct contact with their God. All things told, none of them were terribly reliable when it came to predicting the future. They all got destroyed by somebody, and then none of them saw it coming. We also know that there were roaming prophetic bands. These are sort of prophets that sort of roamed around the countryside. We know they had leaders. Samuel was a leader of such an band of roaming prophets. And we also know that they would roam around and they would play music and they would dance. Again, this is more dancing and music were attested in ancient Israel. One of my things I really miss is that we have no idea what any of this music would have sounded like. My idea is that it was always like some great metal or something. But we have no idea what their music sounded like. We have some vague ideas what the instruments were. And we do know that, for instance, the king Saul, the first Israelite king, came in contact with one of these roaming bands of ancient Israelite prophets, and he also immediately fell into an ecstatic state. So it seems like going into ecstatic states was a thing that was, I don't want to say normal, but normalized. It was a thing that could be expected to happen. So these bands would come through your town, and you might go into an ecstatic state and commune with Yahweh. We do know of several women who were engaged in prophecy, and they had, in some cases, very high rankings in society. One thinks of the prophetess Huldah. Huldah is primarily known from the book of Kings, where the king Josiah, the Judahite king Josiah, finds a Torah scroll in a wall, has it written down to justify his political agenda, and which is the Torah we still have, by the way. Like basically is a piece of political propaganda from the 6th century BCE, which no one talks about that, but that's the thing. But Huldah is actually a woman prophet who is an immigrant, a refugee from the north. She's living in a suburb of Jerusalem, and she is consulted to basically vet whether or not this scroll found in the wall is true. And of course, she does the very wise thing and says that it is, because yeah, I'm sure her neck was on the line. So we do know that women had a relatively high-ranking position of power as prophets. They were not allowed to be priests, but they were allowed to be prophets, and they could do things as high level as basically vet scripture. And again, I want to restate that just so folks hear it. This is a woman vetting the legitimacy of the Bible. That is enormously important in the history of Judaism and in the history of religion, I think more generally, considering how completely excluded women are on almost every level in this historical thing. The ancient Israelites vetted scripture, vetted the Torah almost as we know it, at least the book of Deuteronomy, by a woman, right? The woman Huldah. We know virtually nothing about her, but clearly she was considered to be in contact with Yahweh, and at least for perhaps political reasons, vetted some sections of the Bible as we know them. We also know that there were professional prophets, that is to say, prophets whose job it was to be a prophet. You got paid. I don't know, you got a 9-to-5 job and you were a prophet. I hope they had a prophet union. I don't know that they did, but local prophet one, number 95. But they had professional prophets that existed. We also know of non-professional prophets. Sometimes they're called Ish Elohim, men of God. And these were often associated also with miracle working and what may be better described as magic. These would be folks like Elijah and Elisha, who the only accounts of people being resurrected from the dead in the entire Hebrew Bible are both associated with Elijah and Elisha. And so on the one hand, they represented God mostly in divine duels. As you may know, many Israelites and other Canaanite people worshipped a god called Baal, who was very popular as a storm god, because as you may know, storms are very rare in ancient Israel, and you relied on winter rains basically to make sure that you had agricultural crops. And so storms were a godsend, and Baal was very popular. Well, just like on the middle school playground of your childhood, people fought each other to show how cool they were, and so did the gods. And so what we know most famously about Elijah was Elijah challenged the prophets of Baal to a duel and subsequently murdered them all by cutting their heads off when they lost the duel. If that rings of Al-Qaeda or Daesh to you, yes, this is a brutal world. And whether the story happened or not, we don't know. But the fact that the Israelite writer that recorded it relished in it at least meant that they wanted it to have happened, whether it really happened or not. So we also have prophetic duels, my God can beat up your God kind of situation where they would engage in these prophetic duels, which if you've never read that story in the Book of Kings, it is really worth reading. Elijah was a weird dude. He's on the fringes of society. It's not even clear he's even an Israelite. He's constantly called a Tishbite, HaTishbi, right? And so as a Tishbite, he may have not even been born an Israelite. He's a kind of fringe character that people have a very strange relationship with, and we continue to have a strange relationship with him because he didn't die, allegedly, and now we invite him into our homes randomly. So just remember, right, when you invite him into your home, that he did cut off the head, allegedly, of like 500 people one time. So be careful who you invite into your home. This guy's murdered about 500 people. Elijah. We also know that prophets seem to have been both ecstatic and non-ecstatic, which is to say that some of them went into fugue states, we might call them, or ecstatic states to issue their prophecy, and others didn't. So we have a range of prophetic techniques. Unfortunately, what we don't have is any accounts in ancient Israeli literature about how they did this. We know they danced and they played music, nothing else. And yes, I know some of you are probably wondering, did they do drugs? Probably not. At least if they did, it's not recorded, right? We don't have any attestation of Elijah, ate some mushrooms and then went to town, or smoked some weed or whatever, or even drank alcohol. Many of the prophets are actually sworn off of alcohol as part of their prophetic vocation. So we don't have much evidence of substance use in the prophetic literature. However, archaeology is a hell of a drug. And what we recently found at a site called Tel Arad, which is one of the few Yahweh shrines to survive from the ancient world, we found on the top of one of the altars where you burned incense, cannabinoids. And so we know that room, right, would have been relatively small. And if they were burning incense with cannabinoids in it, they were hotboxing. Maybe. We don't know, right? But we found it. We found evidence of cannabinoids at a Yahweh shrine, right? One of the only ones that survives. There are only two that survive. There's one at Tel Arad and there's one at Tel Dan. The Jerusalem one has been destroyed. And so the Shiloh one has never been found. But maybe they were getting contact highs, talking to Yahweh. I don't know. I would encourage you to do your experimentation on your own time, see if it works for you. So I do not know. But this, that, by the way, that find about the Tel Arad cannabinoid thing was just like a year ago. So people who think that they've combed over everything over there, they find all kind of weird stuff. So actually, that's not that they found it. They just didn't think to test it. That shrine's been sitting in the Israel Museum for like 30 years. They just didn't test it for some reason. And so some guy scraped it and was like, it's weed in here. So that's the thing. The image on the left-hand side here is from the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is from the Habakkuk Pesher. Pesher is just a commentary. This is the first commentary we know of in Judaism. And if you know anything about the history of Judaism, commentaries are our jam. We are a commentary writing people. We love the right, we write things called hyper commentaries, folks. The hyper commentary is a commentary on a commentary on a commentary. That is, commentaries are our jam, and this is the first one. This is a commentary on the prophet Habakkuk. This was recovered from the Dead Sea Scrolls, and this is the first time where a prophet, the prophet Habakkuk, is actually being read as a esoteric text. The commentator believes that inside of the prophecy of Habakkuk are secret things that are going to happen in the future. And so if you've ever heard curious people say that they found secret things in the Bible that are describing the future, this is the first guy or person to do this, is in the Habakkuk Pesher found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. You can find this document in any collection of the Dead Sea Scrolls. But again, what's important to note here, right, is that even the idea that you can mine a prophetic piece of literature to divine the future, an idea that we all know, it's culturally very common. Again, you just flip on the radio and I'm sure you can find some preacher right now telling you that the end of the world is coming because they found something in the Bible, the book of Daniel, whatever. The first time we see it actually happen in Israelite literature is in this commentary on Habakkuk. So you could read the book of Habakkuk, it's relatively short, and then you could read the Habakkuk Pesher in the Dead Sea Scrolls and take a look at that one. This is also on display in the Shrine of the Book in Jerusalem. People always flock to see the Great Isaiah Scroll because they think that it's the biggest one, But just so you know, if you go to the Shrine of the Book, the Great Isaiah Scroll is a replica. It's not the real one. That one, the real one's stored in a bunker somewhere. But the Habakkuk Pesher is the real one, and no one ever spends any time on it because they just think it's nonsense or they don't care. And I got to spend like an hour looking at it because I'm a complete fanboy of the Habakkuk Pesher. So there we have it. As I mentioned, we know basically nothing about the material culture of the ancient prophets aside from the books that get written down. Clearly, the scribes that wrote these books down thought of them as incredibly important and copied them. We know nothing about their practices, their mystical practices, so we don't know anything about their meditation techniques, their breathing techniques, the drugs they may have used or not used. We know very little about how they achieved these mystical states. So reconstructing what they did is very difficult. We also know very little about the phenomenology of this. And phenomenology is a $2 word that means the experience of this. What was it like to be a prophet in ancient Israel? What was it like to experience this ecstatic state? We know very little about it because ancient Israelites, like many ancient cultures, just didn't put as much emphasis on subjectivity that we do. We are a narcissistic people. We love ourselves and we love talking about ourselves. And you can find 1,000 books about people talking about, we have memoirs and things, right? Ancient peoples did not care about subjectivity in the way that we do. And so when you, and again, think about this from reading the Hebrew Bible, how often do you learn about the emotional states of characters? Basically never. It's like, and he got angry, or they were sad, and they move on. We know very little about the interiority of these characters because they didn't care about it as a literary motif, right? This is not like Russian romanticism or something. And we know very little about the phenomenology of these experiences, aside from they were apparently very scary. That's it, right? So we know that ancient Israelite prophecy, ancient Israelite mysticism was a social anchor. It was a political anchor. It was an economic anchor. We know that with that many people, 400 prophets employed by a court, this was a part of the economy, right? This was no marginal thing by any stretch of the imagination. But we know very little about it from a material culture point of view, unfortunately. What we do know is that the prophets went away. Israelite prophecy went away eventually. And the reason probably that it went away is that, well, the countries that they served were destroyed. Ancient Israel was destroyed in 722 BCE, and ancient Judah was destroyed in 586. And if your country gets destroyed, well, you don't have a job anymore if you're alive, right? If you're alive. And we know there are prophets operating in the exile. Ezekiel is one of them. Jeremiah flees into Egypt. So we do know that they escaped, but we know that the social institution of prophecy did not survive these destructions. So why? Well, it could be a lot of things. One of the reasons it could just be that they got killed, right? You just wipe them out. That's a thing that happened in the ancient world. Another reason why it could be the case is, well, they didn't see it coming. Your whole job is to communicate from Yahweh what's about to happen to us and how we can make this not happen. And they didn't, right? So again, if your astrologer doesn't see the thing coming, well, get a different astrologer. So part of the problem of divination is if you don't see the big things coming, like your whole country being destroyed, well, that shakes confidence in your ability to communicate for your God. We also know that prophets just weren't terribly popular in some ways. I mean, no one likes social critics, right? You go ask the social critics. People hate social critics, right? People hate people being like, listen, you're rich and God hates you for it. And God's going to condemn you and God's going to kill people because of your wealth and your religious abandonment, right? No one like wealthy people, powerful people don't like to be told that being wealthy and powerful is evil, right? And they're also the people that kill people to prevent them from saying that. And so prophets often got themselves killed for saying these kinds of things. So it could just be that they were also always at some level, in many ways, a marginalized group. As the political situation in ancient Judah gets increasingly bad, what ends up happening is that prophecy ultimately shifts away from condemning the Israelites to basically saying, well, one day God's going to come and kill all of you people, right? You're not doing the right thing, and God's going to get God's revenge on you. And this becomes a shift to what sometimes is referred to as the Yom Yahweh motif, or the Day of the Lord. When I say Lord, it always makes me feel like I'm a Southern Baptist preacher. I got to make that "or" really long. The Lord. At any rate, basically what it comes out to is the prophets more or less saying, God's abandoned you. God's going to kill you all. I'm out. Right? And so there's a kind of prophetic frustration that seems to set in, where the prophets are increasingly thinking about a more distant, removed future where God will sort things out because the present is just a nightmare. The Babylonians are destroying everything and things like that. And what ends up happening is that after the Judahite state is destroyed in the 6th century BCE, the prophets basically are done for as an institution. The Judahite prophets vanish. And the prophetic literature as we have it in the Hebrew Bible is codified. Now, that doesn't mean that people stop being weird. People continue being weird. It's just that their weird is a new kind of weird. And that new kind of weird is apocalypticism, right? That new kind of weird is apocalypticism. Now, I know that the word apocalyptic typically has to do with the end of the world. That's not what apocalypticism is going to mean in this case. But, right, what we will do is we'll return next week to talk about the rise of Jewish apocalypticism. Notice what we haven't talked about much. Angels, demons, the end of the world, the battle between good and evil, right? The Messiah. We haven't talked about any of that yet. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is the prophets didn't know about any of that stuff. Ancient Israelites didn't really concern themselves with those kinds of things. It's the apocalypse.
Yay. Also, here I am, man. Almost comatose to sleep. Just listening to some random video and drawing. How you been doing? You're good? Nice to hear that, man. Nice to hear that. So I'm actually trying to work some more sketches, you know, because thanks for asking. What's the drawing? Yeah, my previous iterations for the character that I wanna put in this game, like the main character, are actually okay. Let me show you again. It's like a minute of time. So the first iteration of Jarok the Hunter was this a few months ago. Let me show you. This was the first iteration of Jarok the Hunter. And while illustration is fine, okay, I kind of, it's too complicated, it's too much layers and everything. It's not a, I need more simplified character, more iconic and more simplified. And I'm not even sure if I want to stay in the classic fantasy, middle-aged fantasy trope, how to say. And that's when I started to work on this other model. Let me show you. Other concept. So, yeah, this guy. And also, there are some good parts, some bad, I don't know. It was in the early phase, but I just put it apart. You know, I didn't want to continue it any further for now, and now I went back to making sketches again, trying to figure something out, you know, trying to figure out what my character is gonna look like. So I'm not gonna do any details or anything. I just wanna figure out if I like the basic sketch for the design, and if I do like it, I'm gonna keep painting on it with some details and other stuff for render. But for now, I'm just went back to keep things really simple. Also, I want to make my characters much simpler than usual. So, see this, for example. Maybe I'm just gonna delete this. I just want him to be more simple. I want to search for a technica of design that can maybe help you. Well, it's not about technique. It's about lack of ideas in my head at the moment. I have like a shit ton of references for hunters in my head, but I don't want to make a classic fantasy hunter. I'm just, you know, doodling around. I'm not feeling any pressure to finish it. You know, I just keep doodling and doodling until I find something that actually looks okay-ish to me, you know? But anyway, thank you. You don't need to bother, man. What I'm actually struggling with is to keep things as simple as I can, you know? You tried with references of other times. Yeah, if you mean about like... Oh, wait, my son is... Sorry, I'm back. No, I did not. I did not try to combine them. So let me show you the process, how... What was I doing? First, I did some silhouettes, and then I chose the silhouette, and then I built like different ideas out of it. And after that I went to that went to this sketch, and then onto this sketch I built the character further. I mean, sketch was okay, but still, this all looks same as the first idea. I just want to move away from it, but also I want to keep some rustic forms of the regular fantasy hunter. I want to have the hood and some other stuff, but still I'm trying to figure out, you know, how actually character is gonna look like, how realistic or mega stylized is he gonna be. Muchacho, Matilda, how are you, my friend? Do you have something specific in mind? No. No. I really do not have anything in my mind, and that's the problem. And I don't want to look at the references. I'm fucking tired of looking at references every time I have struggled with design. I just want to doodle. And I kinda enjoy this process at the moment, so I'm just gonna keep on doing this until I'm satisfied with something. Even if it takes me like 10,000 different iterations, or even one or two, it doesn't matter. Sorry if I sound like depressing. I'm just not dead tired. In past few streams I've been tired constantly, you know, because I start streaming by the end of the day, you know, when I finish with child and everything. After that I'm just lifeless. So I actually using the last parts of my strength to stream before I go to the bed and knock out, you know. Matilda, my man, how are you? I'm fine. You fine, my man? How about you, mister? I'm okay. Just tired, but I'm perfectly fine. If I fall asleep during the stream, don't take it as an insult. I will definitely use like some kind of crossbow here. Just don't want to waste time on that now. Yeah, we're gonna have some cape beneath later on. Okay. I don't want to bother, but could you show the designs I had? I don't want to bother, but could you show the designs I had made once again? You had made. Oh yeah, now it makes sense because I was like, he made the designs that I showed or what? to do that to me, man. I can't handle, you know, like simple tasks, like, you know, pour a glass of water or something. Give me a sec, we'll do it in a sec. Where was it? I think it was here, sketch, yeah. No, not here, not this one, sorry. Oh, silhouettes, yeah. So, I started from this, yeah. From the silhouettes. And all of this is okay, but I don't want classic hunter tropes. I want to move away from the stereotype fantasy, add a little bit of alien-like maybe, and even technology-like stuff, and mix it with rustic cloth and environment. That's why now I'm actually doing this specific kind of helm, you know, helmet. And give me a sec. Also, before I continue, let me just fool around with Liquify tool a little bit to see if I can add some. Ooh. Do you want me to leave these silhouettes? Yeah, I'm gonna leave these silhouettes, and I'm gonna back in like 2 minutes. Gonna be back in like 2 minutes. I wanna smoke like cigarette or half of it and to pour some liquid. Be right back, guys. Sorry for waiting. Is music too loud? Oh, I forgot my son. Oh boy, am I not concentrated this evening? Actually, I like this as a simple silhouette for some kind of globe, how to say. Let's see. Something like this, but this doesn't make any sense, so what I'm actually trying to do is simplify everything before, because I always tend to go and complicate designs further and further. So I just want clean, simple design. You know what? I don't like this movement here. Have you seen Arcane? Yeah, I did. I watched it. It is really good. I also play Leagues of Legends like a lot for like 10 years, but in the last like 5 years I only play Aram. I do not play Summoner's. Is it the Summoner's Rift? What's the name? Like normals and right. But yeah, Arcane was gorgeous, and everything was good. Story, narrative, art direction, everything was really, really, really good. Yeah, man. Even my wife, she's not a gamer, or she's not into that kind of stuff, and she watched the entire TV series with me, that season 1, sorry, and she was blown away. Does your character have a cape? I think he will have. So yeah, this is actually like a part where his cape will be if I tend to use it, but I think I will. Also, I am not sure if it should be a cape or maybe it should be an extension of this hood, like maybe it should be like a long scarf or something. I don't know. I still didn't decide, you know. I don't have anything set in stone, you know. Maybe he will have, maybe he will not. We'll see. Cape is easy to add. Just wanna, you know, try whatever I like in that moment. How about a short damage? Okay, short. I mean, oh no, I don't like that. Like this. Definitely not. Let me see. Well, actually, I don't know. How about a long one, man? I don't know. Let's leave cape for later. Because maybe it will be like scarf or something, you know, which is also cool idea. Give him wings. No, Matilda, no wings in this game. Imagine Hunter with wings, man. Jetpack, yeah, like Boba Fett. Oh, well, a backpack like collector from MK11. Oh, is that an old game from PlayStation 1 or something? MK11? Yeah? No? Or Mortal Kombat 11? Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, one sec. Give him another guy on his back that shoots arrows with that that sound with a small crossbow like a dwarf. Yeah, I thought maybe like some kind of goblin squire or something that actually brings his entire equipment for hunting, like a giant bag with 10,000 crossbows, bows, arrows, spears, javelins, um, traps, and everything, you know. Okay. Oh, I need to reduce more this. One second. Just let me set up a brush for next step. Yeah, I'd love that, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Do it well, early on in my how to say that artistic career. I did speed paints uh, like back in 2015 or something, 16, but I can't remember the last time I did it. When I did speed paints, it included a lot of photo bashing, if you know the technique. So you actually bash like 10,000 different references from the picture, and then you blend it with some filters, and then you paint over it. In the movie industry, that was, I don't know how today it works, but in the movie industry that was like general normal approach. See, I'm already complicating. No, 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 no. Photo bashing, you can type it in YouTube. You will see how it works. It's actually a great technique if you want to do like shit ton of concept art for different scenes. It's better than speed paint, much better, much more effective. I mean, because you can actually do it much faster than speed paint. Here, let me type it here. Thanks, man. I didn't know it was. Oh yeah, photo bashing. Yeah, but I don't know how much today it has its presence. But they use it a lot for AAA gaming and for movie industry especially. I don't know what I'm doing at the moment, and I don't care. I'm just playing around with the shape. Fuck me if I know what I'm doing here, man. This doesn't make any sense. Can I understand what's going on? I don't know. I'm trying to doodle around this round-ish helm of his, you know. Actually trying to find some shape that is interesting for me. So yeah. Hmm. 1 second. Let me try something. Draw, Antonio, just draw. Fuck. Tonight I'm actually going with some ridiculous, you know, doodling, so... Go with the flow. There is no flow tonight, believe me. It's like I'm looking at the monitor throughout half of this time and watching my son if he's wake up or something, you know. No flow when you're dead. No flow. Only flow I get is when I sleep for a few hours. That's my flow. So imagine from frontal part, how should this look? Something like this, I guess. Yes, something like this, I guess. So where should eyes be? Maybe here. I think you're getting somewhere. Yeah, who knows, man. We'll see. Oh, yeah, I have an idea. Yep, that's it. Now I'm getting Warframe Warframe vibes. Yeah, why not, man? As I said, I want some alienish technology. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll throw everything in trash. Just at this point, I just want to try and doodle stuff. Do you know the big, medium, small theory of design? Big, medium, small theory. It's like when you have three similar shapes, one should be always like bigger, one should be smaller, one middle. If you mean that, there you go. I don't think about anything of that. I don't think about theory. It all goes with some kind of feeling, you know. Back in the school, when they taught us stuff, yeah, I was paying attention to that, but as soon as I learned how to draw, I wanted to forget anything. especially when I'm doing like this. When I'm doing this early phases of art. So this will be, just let me show you. This will actually look something like this. It will be like bluish, and this other part will be something like this maybe, and this other part will be even more dark, you know. Maybe something will give an illusion that this is like some kind of glass or not. We'll see. However, should I something here? Like one more? Something like this, yes. So it may serve as some kind of gas mask or something. Make it pink. Yeah, why not? Who knows, man? Yeah, maybe he's faggot. It's legit, man. When I said faggot, I meant fagot. Fagot is the instrument. Fagot. Instrument. See? Let me show you. Da? Oću, ljubi, nemoj se brineš. Sorry, I was talking to my wife. So yeah, this is instrument I didn't roll at all. This name of this instrument is fagot. Fagot, so I was referring to this instrument. Please, everything is legit. Monochromatic or complementary colors? It depends, man. Here I will not do mono. Definitely. My game, I hope, will be full of colors, man. There is no place for monochromatic design. Maybe some of the beasts will have like that approach, but nah, I like colors. So yeah, I did like, let me show you here. One second. I did some semi monochromatic thing for my last commission. Give me a sec. Oh my god. Where the fuck is this? Isn't it in commissions? Oh, yeah, here. I think is this. Yeah. Oh, this is some work in progress logo. So this is like blue and almost monochromatic. It's duochromatic, you know. Show you here. Okay. Background color. Is it this one? Oh, this is with real. This is some. Yeah. So here you can see like I added only bluish and greenish colors, and I need to remove this as fast as I can because this game is not out still. Also my logo illustration, I mean illustration that serve as illustration for transition to logo. Let me show you. Give me a sec. Where the fuck? Yeah. This is almost monochromatic. It's not. It has like purple-ish blue, and blue is dominant. and then green, then purplish. But I'm satisfied how this came out at the end, you know. So we also have like symbolism here. We have an apple and a butterfly, and we have like a fake Christ-like figure. We also have a Trinity sign, bunch of stuff here. That's what I tend to lean in some of my future project. Maybe even I'll push it here in this project, some theo fantasy, you know, like theologian fantasy or something. I just love to play with that stuff. Pretty cool art. Yeah, thank you, man. I like red and blue. Well, I like blue like a lot. I when I think about it, I think my blue is actually my favorite color, and all the other that derives from it, you know. So when you add some yellow, you get that green. When you add some red, you get that violet. El violetto. Okay, here I was thinking adding him some necklace, you know, this, see? So let's think about the symbol here. So he's a hunter. Okay, let's work something out together, man. Let's do some interaction. So he's a hunter. He hunts all kind of different demigods as entrapped in the body of animals throughout this world. So he is actually an apex predator, an apex hunter. So like the best of his kind. An entire game will evolve around that story, around his hunt and his challenges. And so imagine that society where he comes from, how that society would look like. You have like some semi high fantasy characters mixed with technology stuff and everything, but at the end it all leans always towards fantasy, not towards sci-fi or that stuff. So imagine that society like where hunters are actually life calling, and like being a hunter is life calling, and you reach like that retarded level where when you hunt some kind of gods and old pantheons and some who knows what, you know, in this world, and just for the purpose of hunting them. So imagine that society. Maybe it's something like Predator, you know, but let's talk about that symbol here. So what should symbol of hunter look like? A universal symbol of hunter. Do you have any symbol in mind? Like, okay, we have a crossbow, like, you know, something like this, maybe, you know, which can be cool, I guess. What else? Something that can be simplified like a lot and make his place here. I think crossbow is actually a cool sign. Just figure out. Let me figure it out here on a smaller scale. How about knife? Like a kitchen knife? Oh, I'm dying. No. That's more for like stabber, you know. here on Balkan, we have those kind of people. We call them Bulgarians. Just joking. See, it's already too late. I think I need to shut the fuck up. Okay. Where was I? Oh boy. Oh. Knife is good for some kind of rogue guy, I think. Maybe something like this. What the fuck am I doing? Or the face of the things that he hunts, but simplified. There's gonna be a shit ton of things he hunts, you know. A lot of shit. So, I don't know. You know what? Fuck that. This is a question for being like, you know, awakened early in the morning or something. Let's just figure out the basic shape of this amulet. I was going with circle, but I don't know. Should it be like circle or maybe like... tip of an arrow. Yeah, why not, man? That actually can look good, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. We're not in a hurry to define anything, you know. See, it's a bear. Give me 3 minutes. I'm back. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Bum, 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 bum. I hate this thingy over here. And I'm gonna use my imagination and create circle. Fuck it, yeah. Because I can. Don't give a fuck. Just give me a circle, man. And then I'll work on it and break a little bit. One by one, sha la 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 la. There you go. Oh, 1 second. Okay, so as this object, as this object is actually leaning on his breasts. What? Okay. I think now we can delete and add it again and add perspective a little bit like this. Yeah, splendid. That was Iron Man vibes. Oh, Iron Man vibes. Matilda. No Iron Man vibes here, man. No. Sha-la-la-la-la. Fuck the Iron Man. Fuck the rich guy in a castle. Fuck USA. And they're fucking rich superheroes. I don't give a fuck about them. Tra-la-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la-la. Let's add a little damage to it, you know? It's in a battle, man. Must be damaged a little bit, boy. Your brain is cooked, mate. Yeah, totally cooked. Sha la 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 la. La 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 la. I kinda like this thingy. Fuck yeah. Now let's be even more idiotic and copy this object and then add a few more of them. This. Nah. One more. This. No, this looks like total crap. No, I'm gonna stick with one for now. Because I can. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Da 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Ba 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 ba. What? How did I manage to duplicate? Remember when I say I want a simple design? Remember that? It was like 15 minutes ago. Yeah? Yes? What happened to that simple design? Mr. Bond. It looks okay-ish. Let's add for another part on the other side. Na 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 na. And flip it horizontal. Why not? So since this hand goes a little bit up, we need to make a different. Yeah. What's the name? Forgot the English word for that. Angle. Matilda, how do you angle your triangle, please? Would you be so kind to answer me that question? It is of big importance. Do you dangle when you mangle your triangle? So we have this going here, and oh, perfect. It's simply perfect, yes. However, it's not enough. Let's figure out how I'm gonna break this. I guess Matilda is not here, because already he would have an answer how he dangles his triangles when they mangle. I like to mingle while tingle my dangle schmangle bangle triangles. Yes, that was the answer I was looking for. In years to come, I will remember you for this sentence. Multitasking, yes. You're tritasking with triangles. What the fuck am I doing now? I just got lost. I need to find myself again if I want to live. Yes. Perfect. I don't know what this represents, but hey. But hey. It doesn't make any sense. 1 second. Oh my god. I should go to bed because I need to wake up in like 5 hours from now. What am I doing? I don't know what this represents, but hey. C'est la vie. Should I add that like that? What's the name? I can't. Tail from the hood, you know, like. It looks like shit now. Fuck that. But maybe. I know, maybe I should just separate this with color later on. But I wanted to add like. Let me try. If it sucks, I'm gonna delete it. Be do. Matilda, can you see when you look closer where his eyes should be? Can you see? This is where his eyes should be. No, when you look like really, really close, see, it starts to define, all become more and more clear. As you zoom in, you can see the shape, Matilda. You know? Oh my God! What is it? Again? No! No! Fuck it! Just so you know, Matilda is not a female. I would never speak like this to a female friend, only to a little boy. Only to a male friend. He's my real life friend, although we never met in real life, but we hang out on Discord and play video games together. In Rust we are both females, not by choice, but by RNG. I'm a black African, good-looking woman with a short hair, and he's some Asian woman, I think. Yeah, on the profile, yeah, on the profile picture you can see his character. Real life friend. He has imaginary friends as well. Yes, imaginary friends. Yes. Imagination. Imagination. Oh, I think I fucked up here. I need to change it a little bit. 1 sec. Let me first try and figure out what I'm gonna do with this part. Or knya. I still don't know what this is. I need to change it. It's really going on my nerves. Just try and do something else. 1 sec. Oh my god. So this is where his neck should be, like here somewhere. And then muscle should continue from this side. However, I wanted to change that. And let me see how. Let me see how. I need something else here. Something like this maybe? Let's see. I remember one time I worked for some studio and I worked on concept art for the characters, and later on for more detailed version of that concept, so it can be pipelined to a 3D artist after that. I got checked by lead artist, art director, whatever his calling was, I can't remember, and he always tried to impose 100% accurate anatomy for any drawing that I did. So I always had to step out of the caricature and approach that problem with the anatomy. And each time we did that, iterations illustration looked more retarded to me. Each time it looked retarded, he was like, "Yeah, now it's good." I was like, "What the fuck? Okay, it's good, I guess." You know. No. No, 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 no. Should we add like nipples here? Yeah, why not? Make them bigger. Like this, and also made one smaller nipple here. Like this, yes. Nice. Joking, it's an armor, so it's not a nipple. But however, I'm trying to add something. Makes sense. I don't know what this is, but it gotta go. It gotta go. It gotta go, 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 go. Nice nipples, nipples. No man, these are, what's the English word for them? Can't remember. Here, let me see. Screw, yeah. Screw. Shuruburu, kurumuru. Kurumuruburu. I'm gonna unscrew these screws, man. Yeah. That's it. I'm kinda done for today. I'm really tired and it's already 22 minutes past midnight. His chest looks so small compared to shoulders. Yes, it's a caricature and it's gonna stay that way. I wanna try and make it more cartoony or something. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. Hanzo, Matilda, thank you guys for being here to make me company throughout this crazy night. I forgot to paint another penis for you, Matilda, and I'm really sorry about that. I will make up to you next stream, my man. You know I love you. Stay well, guys. Bye-bye.